Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea, a framework for being way more intentional about who and what you let into your life. It comes from the wisdom of a clinical psychologist, and it's a simple tool that helps you take back control and build relationships that actually, work for you. Have you ever had that feeling, that sinking pit of your stomach feeling where you just know you're in the wrong job or maybe the wrong relationship? Of course you have. We all have. But what if you could stop getting into those situations to begin with? Well, to figure that out, we have to start with this one core concept. Every single relationship we have, from work to love to friendship, operates on an invisible contract. So, what is a relationship contract? It's just the set of rules, the spoken ones and more often the unspoken ones, that define how things are going to be. Think about it. In a marriage, an explicit rule might be sexual fidelity. At a job, there's this unspoken agreement that you'll be treated with basic fairness and respect. The thing is, these contracts are everywhere, whether we acknowledge them or not. And the whole point of these contracts is to create a sense of safety. They're supposed to be there to meet our needs and to protect our soft spots, our vulnerabilities, so we can actually thrive. But that only works if the contract is a good one. And here's the problem. Way too often, we sign up for absolutely terrible contracts without even thinking about it. We walk right into bad jobs and dreaming relationships, completely blinded by a few very common and very flawed beliefs. In fact, according to our source material, there are 5 main illusions that trick us into signing these bad deals and basically set us up for failure right from the start. Okay, first up, the big one, the illusion that things will just magically get better. We tell ourselves, oh, he'll change, or the company culture will improve, but let's be real. The hard truth is, the only person you have any real power to change is yourself. Expecting someone else to magically transform to fit your needs, that's just a recipe for disaster. The second illusion is kind of like a hero complex. It's that voice that says, I can fix them, or I'll be the one to finally turn this place around. And look, you are absolutely capable of succeeding. But, and this is a huge but, only if your success doesn't depend on changing other people who have zero interest in changing themselves. Illusion number 3. Oh, this one is sneaky. It's the myth of tolerance. We think, it's not that bad. I can get used to it. But the reality is, you don't build up a tolerance to toxic situations or difficult people. They just wear you down bit by bit. You're not going to get used to it. You're going to get sick of it. Then we have the fourth illusion, the rescue fantasy. You know, this idea that we'll find a partner or a job that will just take care of us? It sounds nice, right? But it puts you in a completely powerless position. Because the second your needs and their needs stop lining up perfectly, you're at risk of becoming a victim. And finally, we have the illusion of scarcity. You know it as FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's that panicked feeling that if you don't take this job or this person right now, you'll never get another chance. Here's the reality check. That feeling of intense urgency, it's usually a giant red flag that you are overlooking a massive problem. So, okay, we're all vulnerable to these 5 illusions. The question is, how do we fight back? How do we break free and move from that kind of clouded judgment to seeing things with real clarity? The solution is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It's creating your own personal entrance exam. Just think of it like this. It's your list of non-negotiable requirements. It's the test that any person or any situation has to pass before you let them into your life. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This right here is the actual entrance exam the author made for himself when he was looking for a partner. Check out how specific it is. A must-have is willing to live in Colorado. A can't stand is passive-aggressive. See? It's not about vague wishes. It's about having brilliant crystal clarity on what you need and what you absolutely cannot have. All right, so you see how powerful this can be. Let's get practical and talk about how you can build your very own entrance exam right now. And trust me, it's a really straightforward process. It really just boils down to 2 simple lists. Step 1, your must-haves. These are the things you absolutely, positively require to be happy and healthy. Step 2, your can't-stands. These are the deal breakers, the things you just will not tolerate. And the most important word here is non-negotiable. These are not preferences, they are your core requirements. Okay, so once you have your list, the real work starts. This isn't just an exercise. You have to actively use this exam as a filter before you commit to anyone or anything new. So, how do you do it? Well, you basically become a detective for your own life. You start paying super close attention to what people say and what they don't say. You learn their history, you ask direct questions to get the answers you need, and maybe most importantly, you trust your gut, that intuition. Then you take all of that information, all that data you've gathered, and you hold it up against your must-have and can't stand lists and see how it stacks up. The source material puts it perfectly with this quote. It says, "People will show you, directly or indirectly, exactly what you can expect from them right there in the beginning. The clues are always there. Your only job is to be willing to use your eyes, your ears, and your intuition to actually see them." Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but what if you're listening to this and having a bit of an uh-oh moment, realizing your current job or relationship completely fails your own exam? The advice here is really clear, and honestly, it's really empowering. First, you try to negotiate. You see if that invisible contract can be rewritten to meet your needs. But, and this is critical, if it can't, if your non-negotiables are being stomped on, your job is to find a healthier situation. Staying somewhere that hurts you isn't strong, it's self-destructive. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is decide to leave. So, there you have it. A real, practical tool to protect your well-being and start building a life that actually fits who you are. The illusions are busted, the tool is in your hands, and your entrance exam is ready to go. So the only real question left is, who are you going to let in?